This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to have you with us on this Wednesday. I'm Jacqueline Matter.
I'm Ray Collins. May the 24th, and the person who is always chilly is drinking iced coffee today.
I know. It was hot yesterday, so I figured some iced coffee would be refreshing, but I'm regretting that decision now because some warm coffee sounds much better.
Because you're always chilly.
I know.
Speaking of chilly, but actually turbulent weather, rather, let's get that forecast now from John Scalzi.
Yeah, we got some changes coming our way. Yeah, wet stuff will be falling from the skies in plentiful amounts today. We're also going to keep an eye out for the possibility that some of these storms could get a little bit strong, perhaps even severe, with gusty winds being the biggest threat from some of these storms. It's already starting to the north of us. We've had a severe thunderstorm warning up for areas just around the Gainesville area, and now moving out toward areas near Flagler. Those showers and thunderstorms sinking southward will be a line of storms that'll move through here later in the afternoon. Now, we've kind of just moved the timetable of this storm system up a little bit. Yesterday at this time, I was telling you that these storms will probably move through here around drive time or maybe early in the evening, 7, 8 o'clock. Well, I think it's probably going to be more like about 4, 5 o'clock with the first round of showers probably coming our way around 3 in the afternoon. So we'll detail that forecast for you coming up in just a few, but expect about an 80% chance of afternoon storms, some strong. There's multiple advisories up right now, mostly for air-water interaction, things like small craft advisories, lake wind advisories, rip current advisories, that sort of thing. We'll talk all about that coming up in just a few.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Let's check the roads. First off, Manatee County, all clear right now, a little slow down on State Road 70 around 301. Farther south into Sarasota County, already a slowdown on Clark Road heading eastbound around Lockwood Ridge or Beneva. Farther south in the maps, nothing to speak of in the South County at 5:02 on this Wednesday morning. Topping our news this morning, Manchester in mourning.
People in England and around the world paying tribute to the lives lost in the deadliest terror attack on British soil in more than a decade. UK authorities believe they know who's behind the Manchester blast, a British man named Salman Abedi, who's of Libyan background. What we don't know, though, is his motive or if he's part of a group that could be plotting further bloodshed. However, ISIS has claimed the attack is one of their own. Now the terror threat in England raised to the highest level as fears intensify of another attack. We'll have more updates coming up at 5:30. Meanwhile, here at home, Governor Rick Scott asks for a moment of silence in response to those attacks in Manchester. That's how Scott started yesterday's state cabinet meeting in Tallahassee. Scott says the suicide bombing immediately reminded him of the Pulse terror attack in Orlando nearly a year ago.
My heart goes out to everybody that was impacted by this. I remember back to the Pulse terrorist attack and those 49 lives that were lost, and talking to those families, and you hope this, you're just sorry that these things happen. So I hope this doesn't happen again anywhere in the world.
The Manchester suicide attack is the worst terrorist event in Great Britain since the London subway bombings in July of 2005.
Topping our local news now, an SUV struck a 3-year-old girl in Bradenton, leaving her with serious injuries.
Florida Highway Patrol says 2 teenagers were driving when the little girl ran into the road in front of their car. Troopers say the teens were driving south on Hubble Road near Pine Street. The 3-year-old was taken to All Children's Hospital, and she is in stable condition this morning.
A Northport father is facing charges after his 8-year-old daughter called 911. This man, Stephen Segru's daughter, told dispatchers he had been drinking. She says he pulled over and fell asleep, and she called 911 on him. Segru was arrested after failing a field sobriety test. He's now charged with DUI, neglect of a child, resisting an officer, and other charges as well.
This morning, the parking lot of the 10th Street boat ramp is closed. Crews are repaving the lot, and it'll be reopened tomorrow morning. The city is asking for all trailers and vehicles to be removed from that area. This repaving is just one of many improvements being made to Centennial Park. Over the past 3 months, all 4 boat docks have been replaced, and crews will also be dredging the nearby boat basin, removing built-up silt to improve the health of Sarasota Bay. Northport's Human Rights Ordinance took center stage at yesterday's commission meeting.
As our Rick Adams tells us, there's a push to revise the current ordinance.
Well, the discussion on the human rights ordinance here certainly brought out a lot of people. There's concern that an amendment to this ordinance would do more harm for folks than help them. Many folks came to the Northport City Commissioners meeting Tuesday night to have their voices heard inside City Hall and outside, which included members from the ACLU. A revised human rights ordinance would change the language on who the ordinance would protect, from individuals to citizens.
We think that's short-sighted, and that it provides more narrow protections than Title VII under federal law and the Florida Civil Rights Act. Also, 4% of all active duty military are not citizens of the United States.
When it came to decision time, commissioners agreed to not change that portion of an amended ordinance, keeping the language with the word individuals.
It is an issue because everyone wants to be treated fairly. I mean, I think at the core of every person that we want to be treated equally, and we want our city government to treat us equally.
A big part of this human rights discussion did focus on adding specific classes of people to the new ordinance based on sexual orientation, marital status, or creed, just to name a few. There are also changes planned to update language throughout the ordinance and include veterans and pregnant women in that language, where it was originally omitted in the 2015 version of the ordinance.
The Commission just wanted to add some folks who weren't involved with the human rights ordinance. There was no intent to certainly take away rights from anybody.
Northport City Attorney says Sarasota County does not have a human rights ordinance. On Tuesday night, city commissioners voted in favor of taking the next step in amending the current ordinance. And a finer-tuned version of this will come before commissioners in the near future. Reporting from Northport, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
In Tallahassee, Governor Scott signed 16 bills into law yesterday. They include helping victims of human trafficking by creating new state guidelines to better coordinate services. Another law reduces registration fees for boats equipped with certain safety features. And a third law would provide free annual state park entrance passes and half-price discounts on campsite fees for foster families and those who adopt children with special needs. The governor will be in Sarasota today to discuss job growth at a company near Tallahassee. He'll be at the Honeycomb Company off 301 near Whitfield. He'll hold a 3 p.m. press conference this afternoon.
Suncoast schools are being recognized for making sure our kids have a healthy school lunch every day. Over the years, students have gone from eating fried foods to eating low sodium and low fat meals. Instead of serving canned fruits to students, cafeterias are now serving fresh fruits and vegetables like fresh blueberries and steamed broccoli. These schools say the health of students is a priority, and they strive to provide nutritionally balanced and low-cost or free lunches.
The ongoing dry conditions leading to an extension of the burn ban in Manatee County. The ban will now be in effect until next Tuesday, May 30th, but could be extended longer if necessary. The burn ban was initially enacted 4 weeks ago. Similar bans are also in effect in Sarasota and Charlotte counties. The dry weather and drought conditions are also prompting stricter water restrictions in Southwest Florida. That includes 3 counties here on the Suncoast. The Southwest Florida Water Management District voted to increase water restrictions yesterday to Phase 3. This affects 16 counties, including Sarasota, Manatee, and Charlotte counties. Under this new order, lawn watering is reduced to once a week. Watering also is reduced, watering hours rather. There are also now limits on washing your car. The restrictions will remain in effect until August 1st.
The start of hurricane season is right around the corner, and Florida Power and Light is one of the many businesses getting ready. Coming up later today, we'll take you inside their command center in Riviera Beach to show you how they are getting ready for the upcoming hurricane season. A recent storm drill showcased just how far they've come following a major investment into their infrastructure and technology and what that could mean for us.
We've invested nearly $3 billion into our system. We've invested in storm hardening, concrete poles, undergrounding, smart grid technology, and it absolutely paid off last year.
Tune in tonight at 5 here on ABC 7 for that special report.
A new aquatic center is coming to Northport. The City Commission is moving forward with the design and development for a family aquatic center at Butler Park. The plan includes a 25-meter pool, lazy river, activity pool, in contrast there, lazy pool and activity pool. I'll take the first one. Several slides, a concession area, and much more to be built where the playground is in right now, and that playground will therefore be moved. Not a good day for a swim. Plenty of water in the forecast.
Yeah, there really is. And because of these strong winds, the seas are somewhat treacherous out there today. You know, you really don't want to be out there. 6 to 8 foot swells are possible, and rip currents are an issue. Same thing for inland bodies of water, plus the potential for some severe weather as well. Talk all about that in a second.
Still ahead, how one retired woman is fulfilling her sense of purpose.
And coming up a little later in the hour, another boat accident in South Florida.